Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. We would like to thanks to our lecturer for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Before we begin, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Nur Aiman bin Shaharuddin and this is my partner Hazizi Koyumi bin Hamidi. My dear fellow friends, have you ever used online learning methods? How do you feel while doing online learning? Well, today we are going to talk about advantage and disadvantage of online studying for students in Malaysia. Before we begin, allow me to define our roles. I will talk about advantage of online studying for students, while my partner will explain about disadvantage of studying online for students. My dear friends, my first point is schedule flexibility. Increasingly, students have complicated schedules, often struggling several part-time jobs, family responsibility, and others commitment. For many, education has been out for reach when traditional schedules class did not match with their busy schedules. Online learning means students can learn when it suits them. Students can do their readings through the day in between other commitments. They can work on and submit assignment in the middle of the night if that suits them. The time flexibility literally means that students who just could take class on a traditional schedules can now further their education on a flexible schedules according to their needs. My dear friends, I shall now move on to my second point, that is location flexibility. Online learning also opens up education for people who live in an area that do not have post-secondary institution, especially remote communities. People can study at home or in a local library that eliminates the needs to commute to physical institution. This can save students hours of daily commuting time. It can also save students substantial amount of money if it means they do not have to relocate to attend school. This is a significant factor for many who have financial concern, housing concern, or having a family member who cannot relocate due to employment or other obligation. Even people in a big cities that do have post-secondary institution welcome the opportunity to forego a long commute to and for a college or university numerous time away. Friends, my last point is multimedia. Learning happens more efficiently when several modalities are engaged. It's helped to see, hear, do as well as practice. Often, people think that learning online will receive learning because they have to read everything. The opposite is actually true. With so many options of multimedia, modalities can be fully engaged through online learning. Courses can include video clips, labs demonstration, and virtual labs where students can decrease something over and over until they got it. Courses can include hyperactive web link, which can conveniently direct you to website, web article, or web demonstration that add fascinating content. Courses can include high-quality diagrams, graph, interactive demonstration, video podcast, animation, red talk, YouTube clip, interactive digital learning, games, blogs, wikis, learning object, virtual world, and much more. Edutainment is a term describing application that incorporate multimedia entertainment with education objective. Quality online courses have an array of possibilities that can keep the curriculum current and engaging.
Thank you so much, Aiman. I think everyone understands the advantages of online learning. But what are the disadvantages? My dear friend, although learning online is the easiest way to gain knowledge, but it also comes with some drawbacks. Firstly, online student feedback is limited in online class session. In traditional classrooms, teachers can give students immediate face-to-face feedback. From this, students who are experiencing problems in curriculum can resolve them quickly and directly either during the lecture or during the dedicated office hours. Personalized feedback has a positive impact on the student as it makes learning easier, richer and significant, all the while raising the motivation levels of the students. E-learning, on the other hand, still tends to struggle with student feedback. Students completing regular assessments become dissatisfied when they experience a lack of personalized feedback. The traditional methods of providing student feedback don't always work in e-learning environment, and because of this, online education providers are forced to look towards alternative methods for providing student feedback. Providing student feedback in an online setting is still a relatively unresearched topic area, and it might take a while for any specific strategies to become fully research-based and proven to be effective. From this, e-learning can be considered as a learning platform that is not feedback-friendly. To be precise, online student feedback is important during learning session. Next, cheating prevention during online assessments is complicated. Unfortunately, one of the biggest disadvantages of e-learning continues to be cheating through various methods. Compared to on-campus students, online students can cheat on assessments more easily as they take assessments in their own environment and while using their personal computer. The students cannot be directly observed during assessments, which may video feed, making cheat detection during online assessments more complicated than for traditional testing procedures. Additionally, without a proper identity verification system in place, students taking online assessments might be able to let a third party take the assessment instead of themselves, resulting in a wholly fraudulent test result. Cheating prevention must be primarily objective by instructor to ensure that examination results are in line with the student efforts. Finally, e-learning lacks face-to-face communication. This is because the lack of face-to-face communication ties together with many of the previously mentioned disadvantages of online learning. A lack of any kind of face-to-face communication, which the instructor inhibits student feedback, causes social isolation and could cause students to feel a lack of pressure. A lack of pressure is a disadvantage in the sense that it causes students to abandon their studies more easily. Constant nudging by professors may be undesirable for many, but it's an effective method for providing student retention. Face-to-face communication is an important aspect of learning. However, e-learning restricts face-to-face communication to be practiced in learning. My dear friends, today we have explained the pros and cons of online learning. My friend Aiman has explained the various advantages that can be gained from online learning. He has discussed 3 key points, that is, learning online can provide schedule flexibility, location flexibility, and multimedia. Meanwhile, I have discussed about the disadvantages of e-learning. The disadvantages that I have discussed is limited student feedback, complicated cheating prevention, and lack of face-to-face communication in e-learning. Although the e-learning platform is far from a perfect education system, students must use the system properly and honestly. In addition, students should be more disciplined and focused in the class session. Students must accept that even if our method of learning is changing, they must treat learning seriously and do their best in their education. My dear friends, let me end our speech by quoting Nelson Mandela, a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." With that, we end our presentation. Thank you.